So let's get started with the second card, and this time I will make like some kind of like pattern. And I will just cut out like triangular shapes. When cutting, you don't want to cut towards your fingers, so make sure to keep them out of the way. My table is a bit wobbly, so you can see it shake because I have to press down really hard. And this is a little easier if you use thinner paper. But again, if you use thinner paper, you're more likely to glide through those ridges that you want to keep. So that can be risky. Now, one thing that I'm trying to do here is to vary the size of my shapes because that makes it more interesting. We have some size contrast. This is something I talk about in my Skillshare class. In this Skillshare class, we make abstract cards where we can just like go with the flow and don't have to make sure that we end up with a motif in the end. And you can just concentrate on creating a bit of contrast. So I find this pretty meditating because you really have to be present. You don't want to cut yourself, so you have to focus on what you do. So when doing a motif, you really want to make sure that you have the outlines of the object, and you do have like a lot of straight lines here. Okay, so here I am now trying to like level this again, because it always looks nice if some lines kind of align in the card. And one more thing is that it always is better to cut away from the details, because if I decide to make the cut this way and I don't stop at the right moment, I might cut through those small details. So if you remember it, just turn your card around. Okay, so now that happened that I cut through here, but since this paper is so stiff, it doesn't matter so much. Just have to make sure that I won't cut through here again, which I almost did. And when we are going to stick it to the collage paper, I will make sure to dab a bit of glue on here so that it all connects again. One thing that I try to do is like keep all those ridges approximately the same size, because I find that this makes it look really nice. And when approaching the corner, yeah, now I just did what I didn't want to show you. It does make sense to like cut off the whole corner as a triangle like this. I'll do it here before I forget again, so that you have a really nicely defined edge, because here we will have to do with a very small piece. So now my fingers start to hurt already. And if you have to, you can of course like take a break and just relax a bit, because it's really strenuous. Oh my gosh, I cut it through here again. So I haven't been doing this like for a lot of times. It is a challenge for me as well, which is cool. And that's why I do it. If it would be like really easy. That would be boring. Yes, always make sure to turn the card around so that you have the best angle to cut. And when you have like delicate places like that, it helps to press down the paper with your fingernail so it doesn't tear while you cut it. Okay. Whew. My finger hurts a bit, but it looks nice. And now the moment of surprise. Ta-da! I can put that behind. Isn't it cool? Okay, I do want to have a little bit more variation. Maybe try this one. That would look nice. Which is this one. Oh, I like that even better. That looks cool. So I will cut out the piece that I need. Yeah, that always has the risk of cutting away too much, but now we have to, yeah, I think I like that. Okay, now let's see. Okay, I will glue it down up here so that it's fixed. Now I can cut off a little bit down here and a little bit here. And I did have those elements where I cut through here and here. So let's take a fresh sheet of paper. Just going to dab on some glue. And here go all the edges. And glue it down. Okay. Okay, now I'll turn it around because I've learned from the last time. We don't want to go too close to the fold with our lining paper. And getting glue all over this and over the edges. And now I can make sure that I leave a bit of space at the fold, and then I put it down. Okay, so of course now you have an overlap that I will cut off. But for this I'm going to use my metal ruler. When you're doing that, make sure that your cutter, your hobby knife is really sharp, because if you're just cutting like a quarter of a millimeter, you might like tear up the paper if the cutter isn't sharp enough. So here we go. That's the second card. Turned out really nice.